Well, Ken, why do you love being a cybersecurity and IT and a crazy professional at that?
So I think the big thing for me, what got me into this way back in the day when I first started in this industry, which realistically was before we ever called it information assurance, right? Or I mean, before we called it cyber, we called it information assurance while I was in the Navy. Uh, and even pre that, I've always been a tinkerer. I've always had a desire to learn new things and take stuff apart and figure out how stuff works. And I think that kind of, you know, like when you look at purely what I think the definition of a hacker is, that's kind of what you like to do. You like to take things, you like to figure out how it works and figure out and go there. I'll never consider myself a hacker. I'm not that smart. But I do like to tinker, right? And, back in the day, I worked on missile radar systems and learned how to do all that stuff. And then I was like, oh, well, this computer thing kind of seems like it might take off. So let me start tinkering with that. And led me into playing video games on them in the early days and then leading to tune them and figure out how to make them run better. And then I was like, oh, well, let's build a network so we can do it together, so we can play games together while we're out on the ship. So that led me into learning how to build networks and do all that stuff. And it's just been that continuing thing. Whatever caught my eye, made it interesting. And then when you get into pure cybersecurity nowadays, and that's where I've been focused for the last, call it 6 years, 7 years, kind of purely on the cyber side, it's a never ending puzzle and challenge to figure out. And like you said, things happen fast. There's always somebody coming at you with a new thing you haven't thought of, or a new approach to something that you didn't think about. So it's a continuous opportunity to learn and figure out new ways to do things. And sometimes you're going to be better at it. Sometimes you're not. So there's a downside to it, but it's still fun and still interesting. And I've often said, if I ever felt bored or felt trapped and couldn't move or change and do that, I'd go do something else. Well, I've been doing this for 25 years. And the one thing about it is you never really feel trapped or nothing new coming at you. It's a constant change.